So I'm speaking here with Stephen Hoyland, leader of the upcoming week of guided prayer retreat. And as we heard in the last video, he's facilitated over 250 retreats and he's an experienced guide for spiritual growth. Stephen, tell us something about yourself. How did God call you to begin leading guided prayer retreats?
Mm. I was a teacher, then I was a university chaplain, and I've been working for the Jesuits for the last 18 years. And the way in which I came to begin to work with them was for myself in a retreat, a long, silent retreat where I had a very profound and wonderful experience of God speaking. Nothing audible, just an inner sense that I was being invited, called into a particular way of life to be Ignatian. And I just couldn't deny that it was a calling. Absolutely felt right. It felt like it would help me to be the person I was made to be. And the last 18 years have confirmed that. So in large part, it came through something of a mystical call. Not had
Yeah.
many of those.
And so that kind of bounced you into doing something which was about discerning and meeting with God. And I guess you've been meeting with God and discerning for the last 18 years. So in all those things, what do you find most rewarding about that?
There's something about a retreat, even in daily life where people are in their own homes, doing their own job. Something about the retreat that makes of their normal space a thin space. God seems to like retreats. And it is often the case that in a retreat such as this, God does something interesting, helpful for the person. And I see that so many times. So what I love about this work is having the best seat in the house, working with God in one humble way and seeing God do interesting and wonderful things in people's lives and being a part of what God is doing. So it's seeing what God is doing. And if I'm honest, it's being a part of what God is doing.
And how's that changed how you perceive things?
I would say that the spirituality I'm working with, which is a Christian spirituality, Ignatian spirituality, which is Christ centered, is that it's giving me a much more tangible sense of God at work in all things in people's lives. Whereas I think 25 years ago, I'd have believed that notionally, but not really trusted that was the case.
Yeah. So it's become more integrated and become part of you. That just emerges that kind of sense of God at work and being with Him. Interesting.
Yes. And it's something that I easily forget in my own life and then remember again when I'm on retreat.
Yeah, come on retreat. Ah. So what's one piece of spiritual guidance you might give someone who's a retreat participant?
I was thinking about that. If I could just say one thing, what would it be? And today, the one thing would be, if you think you're hearing something from God and it's not kind, then it's probably not God.
Good advice. Good advice. We do something similar, which is called Emmanuel journaling, where we get people to journal and then we get people to read it to someone else. And then they get that same kind of feedback. If you feel called to go deeper spiritually through prayer and reflection, do join us in the retreat starting on the 1st of October. So spaces are limited. Invest in your spiritual growth and experience more of God's love with Stephen. So I appreciate your time again, Stephen, today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.